Hello, good people. How are we doing? Let's do our little safety check here to make sure all systems are a go here. Are we good? Is there sound? Hello, good people. All right, we have all systems a go. How's everybody doing on this Fist Pump Friday edition of Montez at Midday? I want to thank you already in advance for tuning in to the show. If you haven't had a chance to visit DreMontez.com, please feel free to do that. We're being brought to you by our title sponsor, The Weed Squad. Check them on out, and also check out the other sponsors scrolling on the bottom of the screen. You can find a list of them if you visit DreMontez.com. You know what time it is. Let's get it ready. High fives. Chest bump. All right, let's get that thing on in there and hug it out. Cardinal fever, catch it, baby. Baseball season is upon us. What are you going to do about it? Who's your team? What are your predictions? Are you with all the hoopla that has been happening so far in the world of sports? Whole lot of things I want to get into today. I'm going to try to fit it in here the best way I can. That's what she said. No pun intended at all. From not that much about sports today, because I got a pretty important, the next podcast I'm going to post tomorrow, give you something to do on Soak It Up Saturdays. They're calling for slight precipitation. So maybe while you're doing laundry or straightening up the house or playing with the kids, maybe you can listen to my podcast or whatever podcast you listen to. There's always something to listen to out there. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Happy anniversary to you. Congratulations. Hey, that new car looks good on you. You're finally moving into your own place next week. Oh, lots and lots and lots. Kind of saddened, it's parade season. And I miss the parade, and we have the upcoming parade. All that's been postponed into further notice. I kind of miss those big gatherings with the people, by the people, and of the people. I miss me some Dogtown. Downtown St. Louis. Soulard as well. All those visiting neighborhoods right there have a great close connection. If you haven't been in a while, stop by and say hello to a few of them, if you don't mind at all. Well, let's hop on into it, shall we, boys and girls? Is that okay? I think I want to start this one off today sort of like this. I've noticed a trend, not just in the sports world, but in average everyday life. It kind of reminds me of childhood. Kind of remembers me the first time you got your first job, your first girlfriend, first boyfriend, even your first child out there. But this has come up. I'm talking about the apology. And the way it's coming across to me in a professional world is to the point it's not made by kids. What I mean by kids, 18 to 30. It's not being made by those people. It's people 30 and up that are making these apologies. And the thing about the apologies, you always hear this phrase with it as well. Be responsible for your actions. Be accountable for your actions. You got to take responsibility for what you did. That's kind of baffles me sometimes. It puts me in a thought moment. But in the professional world, people that we see in the box, read about, and hear about, people we don't have that tight connection with like we do with each other here. And the way the apology is coming across in the sports world of me, from the front office, the GMs, the presidents, is sounding like a 12-year-old. It's done by people that should know better. I know what you're saying, Dre. It's the money. They're using their power, their privilege. I don't want to take it down that path. I just want to talk about the simple form of the apology. It's all sounding the same to me. I'm sorry for my actions. The person who did that is not me. I'm going to step away and learn to be a better person and come back and show you who I truly am. Thank you. That's all they're saying. But where was that when it was going on? The latest one is with a team president is talking about the language barrier in sports in a very, 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 very negative way. There's no way a man that age should have said those type of remarks. And then if you read his apology, come on now. Remember the first time you got in trouble in school and the principal had you to apologize? And if the apology did not go the way the principal wanted to go, one of you had to stand in office and get a little bit more of a lecture from the principal to understand what you did and to understand the reason behind the apology. And do you understand why you apologized? And now we're going to meet once a week for 10 minutes and reflect on your actions. I think that needs to happen in a professional sense. From music, television, in sports, the apology has been out there. I'm not even talking about the Me Too movement. I'm not even talking about things like that. I'm talking about things you should learn as a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, and definitely a 12-year-old. But these are actions that are being done by people in their 40s, their 50s. The 60s, that's a different group. 60 and up on their own. If you don't believe me, did you see Fox 2 News over in Belleville at the fairgrounds? And they put that microphone in the car, and that senior citizen let it fly. He let it be known. This is horrible. The traffic is bad. You did a bad job when directing traffic. Whoever did this should be fired. That's real and direct. I'm not talking about that. Just the past, I want to say 2 weeks, the apologies that have been coming out, I'm like, that is not an apology. That is not an apology. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the new thing is. I don't know who wrote this. Do you pre-read it to someone? The person that you're proofreading this to? Are they your true friends? Are they people out for your job, trying to protect your job? Or the ones that are disciplining you? Because it's not coming off like from the heart. But you really understanding what you did, what you said, how you acted. Again, I'm not talking about the Me Too movement. I'm not talking about anything political. I'm talking about fucking common sense. It's out the window. And I'm to the point where I want to get back in there and hit send. But the last time I did that, I was banned for 2 years from a website. Hey, I was truthful. You guys boo at the game, I go here, send. But I've learned to step away, back off, and behave a little bit better to the world of the good people. I just wanted to get that off the old chest here on this Fist Pump Friday edition of Montez at Midday. Again, don't forget to check out the latest episode of my podcast, Who's to Blame, which you can find on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Google Play, Anchor as well, or you can just go to DreMontez.com and follow us on social media if you will. Facebook, Who's to Blame, Instagram, Who's to Blame the podcast, Twitter at W2B, Dre Montez, and on YouTube, Dre Montez as well. Thank you for the additional followers out there that we've had. You know, February is coming to a close. And the analytics of the show came out for the past month. And I just want to applaud you guys. Thank you so much. In the eyes of the analytical side of the podcasting and live streaming, thank you guys again. Couldn't be done without you and you amazing sponsors right here. All of you, from watercolors right here, logos, streaming. Thank you guys so much. Very, very much. Now let's get to the fun part. Television and the latest movies I've seen. Oh, by the way, I've recently joined a workshop to learn about cinematography, editing, and videography and documentation. How to make a documentary. I've recently enrolled into a workshop like that. In the next 2 weeks, I have my very, very first meet and greet with the folk. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn how to do this by the people that have been doing this for a long, long time. But in television, I've already told you about the Woody Allen and Mia Farrow documentary, a movie or whatever. It's on HBO Cinemax. But on regular television, Law and Order put a twist on me yesterday. They really did. It was one of, I don't want to say it was the weirdest episode, but it was different. It was different. But they hinted about April 1st, Elliot coming back. Oh, man. That was great news right there. Elliot is coming back. I'm excited about that. The Equalizer with Queen Latifah, I could barely get through that first episode. I tried, people. I really, really tried. I'm going to go back in there and try again. I'm going to try again. I love the Queen. Got to support the sister. But that's some tough acting on there. Tough acting to acting. And have you seen it? Hello, Clarice. I'm confused on the nostalgia, her age. Now, that's the mom that is the Attorney General from the movie. That's really her. They used her. The rest, that's the look-alike dog on there. But the rest I'm a little lost on. The storylines over the past 3 episodes have been pretty interesting. Not as eerie as I wanted them to be. Interesting twist, but so far I'm half kill on the hello, Clarice. I'm a little out there on that one right there. Just a little bit slight to the edge. Just a tad. Not too much at all. But I've become really into these documentaries. Whether it's about music, hearing about, the Bee Gees documentary that I saw. What's my girl name? Nina Simone, which is magnificent documentary. Magnificent. Better than that damn movie that girl made from Avatar. She did a horrible job in that movie. Don't ever do a movie about Nina Simone again. Don't ever do that. Just let the documentary speak for itself. And the Sam Cooke documentary. Those have been like my favorites. But I saw one yesterday. It's called The Cheshire Murders. It happened in Cheshire, Connecticut in 2007. It's on HBO Cinemax. That's all I'm going to tell you. I want you to check it out. But it's very, very interesting that this happened to a white, high, middle-class family in a neighborhood that I think the paper boy still rides a bicycle, no pun intended. But what the police officers did, baffles me to this. Just, I'm not surprised. I am surprised, but I'm not surprised. But just check it out. It's called Cheshire. It's about the murders that happened in Cheshire, Connecticut in 2007. It's on HBO Cinemax. Check it out. Now, I did give Denzel Washington movie Little Things another look. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought. The first time I saw it, I guess it didn't live up to my expectations. You ever go into something and you have the expectations up to here and you come out and you're like, wait a minute. Did I miss something? Why wasn't it? What? It's like that. But I'm still a Denzel fan no matter what. But my expectations were let down the very first time I saw it. I'm talking about the day it came out. The minute it came out, I hit play. And I was like, what in the living crap have I gotten myself into? Good thing I didn't go to the movies to see that. But I gave it another chance. It took me 3 times to show appreciation for it. Good movie. So that's why I stand on those shows right there. So far, so good. Well, we're going to take our first break. If you haven't heard or had a chance, here you go.
Mountain Man Screw. As smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
All right. Don't forget to use the promo code DRE, DRE, for your discount. There you go. Mountain Man Scrub. Get your scrub on, baby. Get your scrub on right there for sure. I think there's a lot of things in this city going on that's pretty good. The rebuilding, the rehabilitation. Shout out to Shaq's Barbershop. Saw him on the news yesterday as they're talking about what they're doing in downtown St. Louis. Rehabilitation, revitalization, painting a new picture of downtown St. Louis. I think anytime any city rebuilds, there's going to be some upside and some downsides. There's going to be businesses that lose out because the prices and inflation going up. You can't keep up with the Joneses. Maybe they're going to block off your street for over 2 years and there's no way to get to you. There's always some type of problem. But the outlook, they always want to show you the bigger picture, what everything should look like and will look like. If you don't believe me, the Grove, I grew up in that area after we moved from downtown St. Louis. The Grove, I want to say from Manchester and Taylor all the way down to Vandervender, was nothing but crack houses. That's all. It was bad. It was horrible looking. It was rough. But you look at it now, you wouldn't be able to tell. They did a great job. Downtown St. Louis, where I also grew up at, down in the projects, they knocked down the high-rise. The high-rises are gone. A lot of you don't even know what that is. Yeah, gone. Wash Ave. Used to go school shopping right there at Marty's, right there. Right there on Washington and 14th. Used to get our chucks for $14. And we go down to Jack S's and we get our initials on the side. All that's gone. Wash Ave didn't look nothing like that when I was a child. Nothing. The Landing. It's empty. But when I was a child, there was so much to do on the Landing. I worked at a haunted house on the Landing as a kid. If you remember that haunted house and you went, I say from 87, 88, 89, in there, right there, that haunted house where that parking lot is at right there, where the cobblestone is at, you go right down there. There's a haunted house right there. I used to work there. I played Pinhead from Hellraiser. I was in that cage making the sparks fly on there. And I also played 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your doors. All of you children of mine. In high school. Yay! It all looks different. Clayton looked totally different. I used to go to the Shady Oak movie theater across the street from Vic Tanny's and down the street from Dolgen's. Looks totally different now. Clayton looks like, I want to say Nashville. It looks like downtown Nashville a little bit to me. It looks totally different. But when you're trying to improve, there's going to be changes made. We got a sports complex coming at the old mills. Could be a buyer for the other mall that we had over there, Jamestown Mall. Jamestown Mall looks totally different. Totally different. I remember when we used to go to Jamestown Mall. Remember when Northwest Plaza was outdoors? Those were the days. I came home for the Navy. Northwest Plaza had been rebuilt. It was indoors. I was like, what in the HR puffin stuff is going on? It takes time to get used to things, to bring in new businesses, for the old to get accommodated with it and accepting to it. That's why I think we all need to stick together in the community, because without unity, you can't have community. I'm looking forward to the changes that are coming here to our city and town and community, and I hope you guys are too. But that's what we're having. If you're just tuning in here on Fist Pump Friday edition of Montez at Midday, thank you. We had a little technical difficulties with the start of the show, but we got it underway for sure. Something else I want to cover out here. The support system. Man, if you are a small business, self-starter, that support system is key. I'm not just talking about the pros. I'm talking about the cons as well. There's a book out there that tells you when you're first starting out in business, this is what you should do. Go to your friends and family first. Go to people you know first. I'm going to flip this to my podcasters out there that are advertising on this show, or the ones that want to advertise on this show. Go to the places you hang out at and spend money first. Go there. Make it as simple, straight to the point as possible. Don't get too analytical in the numbers and all that, because they will throw the piece of paper away and won't listen to you. Get straight to the point. Make it like an elevator speech. It's the best way to get it to the point. And when you're trying to figure out the pricing on what to do, call the local radio station. Find out what their rate card is for 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Find out how much they're charging. Then for print out there, if you got a publication in your neighborhood or community where you hang out at, if they have a publication, contact them, their sales staff, and see how much it is for an ad in there. And see the people in there that are advertising. Now compare the two prices and figure out and be real with your podcast. Figure out your audience size, your demographics. How often are you doing it? What's the reach? How many followers? But get to the point. And that's a great way to put your first package together, your sales presentation on selling advertising. Some people try to reach for the star right off the top, and they're wondering why they can't get advertisers on their show. The best way is to go where you spend money at all the time. If you at that bar 6 days a week, go to them. If you go to the car wash 15 times a month, go there. If you at the florist shop at least 5 times a month, go there. There's value everywhere. And there are people that want to advertise and get connected with this podcasting community because it is the it thing right now. It's what the people are at. They're in the phone. It's it, but keep it really, really simple. People don't like reading 2 pages about advertising with you. Keep it simple and to the point. That's the best way I can tell you. But that support system is key. And if you're working from home, it should be set up, your office or work area should be set up a place where you feel you can want to work and get creative. Not go to sleep or drag yourself over there. You should feel energized to get over there in that area. I learned that recently from a talk show, Drew Barrymore's talk show. I watched it twice now, on her birthday and on a day they were talking about self-improvement, self-help, and self-esteem during this pandemic, COVID-19, enclosed quarters situation. They touched on points like that. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind right there. All right. It's Friday. Let's have some Friday funnies right now. I saw this on the news. You know, there's a way to get into the carpool lane. You got to have 2 people in the car, of course, get in the carpool lane. So this driver decided to put a mannequin dummy in the passenger seat. Dressed him up, sunglasses on, mask on, whole nine. But the one critical mistake was he put a Cleveland Indians baseball hat on the mannequin. That drew suspicion. For one, nobody calls him that anymore. Nobody really wears that anymore. That drew suspicion to the police officer. Pulled him over. Fine of over $400 for doing that. Lesson of the day learned, kids. If we learn anything that day, make sure your mannequin is up to date in its sports attire. Keep that in mind right there. Congratulations to Costco workers. $16 an hour. I remember a time when Costco was only available to the military. It wasn't available to civilians at all. But when they opened it up to the world, all sorts of problems started happening. But now they've calmed down in the past 15 years. But $16 an hour at Costco's. There's no excuse for you to be on the couch all day talking about nobody hiring. Costco hiring. They hiring. They really are hiring. Trust me. They getting it in right there. What else I got for you out there? Oh, yeah. That basketball team. Arkansas is looking good. Arkansas kind of looked like when Nolan Richardson had them. Huh? When Corliss Williamson was there. Huh? Corliss Williamson and I, Eskimo brothers. I didn't know it until 15 years later. This young lady I messed around with in Charlotte, North Carolina, she said, "You like basketball?" I was like, "Why you say that?" She said, "Do you know who Corliss Williamson is?" Like, "Yeah, hello, Razorback." She said, "Well, I slept with him." What? Time out. Wait a minute. Are you Eskimo brothers with a former athlete, current athlete, that you didn't find out about until the last minute? Did you have a moment like, "Hey, that's pretty cool"? Or were you like, "Wait a minute, hold on"? I took it in stride. Matter of fact, I think we went out to eat that night. I think we went to the Mellow Mushroom. Oh, that used to be my joint. Really did. That was the days right there. It really was. I think we got everything off the board because we got our notes on here as well for the podcast that we're going to release the hounds tomorrow for you folks on Saturday. Got a big race in NASCAR coming up this weekend in Florida. And also on Sunday, the Golden Globes. Oh, man. I'm excited about that. I love the Golden Globes, the People's Choice, and, of course, the Oscars. I went to Ballpark Village one year and watched the Oscars. And they gave out door prizes to you because I was at Ballpark Village watching the Oscars. But the Golden Globes are on this Sunday. Back in the days, I used to go to these house parties and watch these, and then certain special event halls or the backside of a bar or a restaurant would be showing it on their pull-down screen, but now everybody has like an 84-inch HD screen for you to really enjoy it. Used to dress up and go to these things. I went one year at the pageant. So I like this little award season. I mean, I watch enough damn television and movies to show my appreciation for what they've done. So why not watch it? I don't want to read about it in the paper. I don't want to be involved in the speech. Hopefully one year they give a shout out to me. Dre Montez, I want to thank you for that amazing tweet that you sent us. And if you like a movie or a performance in a movie, why not go to Twitter and tell them, "Hey, you did a really damn good job right there. You really convinced me someone was chasing you. I really thought you could fly. I told you what I did as a 7-year-old kid. I thought I could fly. You tell me a kid right now that doesn't put a cape, put a T-shirt in the back of their shirt, and go around the house like this, they really think they're going to take off and fly. That's that kid imagination right there. I'm looking forward to Tom and Jerry the movie, for sure. And I think the Billie Holiday. I think her movie is out today on Prime. Billie Holiday versus United States. It's one of those stories I never heard about. Because of a song, she had to fight the United States because when they heard it a different way. It's like we all watching the same program together, and after the program is over, we have to write a summary of what we heard. All of us going to have a different summary of what we heard. All of us. It's just how it is. Not saying you're wrong or you're right. This is what we got out of it. And I'm going to see exactly what happened and transpired when this comes out there for real. Again, if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy anniversary. Congratulations. Hope everyone is doing well. All of that. Now, this will be one of those weekends where I may just put a damn suit on and watch the Golden Globes like I'm there in the back as an extra sit-in or something like that. I tell you, on my next podcast, I'm going to tell you what I got coming up. And I broke this down in a way that I'm proud of it. It's about the NBA play the isolation, and also the triangle. Those two. How they have transformed the NBA in the past 40 years. I'm going to break that down to you as well. That's a very interesting podcast right there. Also, your thoughts on the NBA changing the logo to Kobe Bean Bryant. I'm all on board for that. I'm on board for that. It's time. Why not? All this generation of basketball knows is Kobe, Black Mamba. Huh? What? I need to stop watching Reno 911. Huh? What? Huh? Did you hear me? So, guys, it's Fist Pump Friday. It's in the books. You guys enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Have a lot of fun. And clean that damn room up. Clean that room up. Let you guys get up at it and be at it. And don't forget to appreciate the details of the day. Until next time, we'll see you. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. And we up out of here. Deuces. Man was